Robbie. Okay, let's see if anyone else is going to show up. If you have any requests, you can type them into the comment box. Okay. Welcome. If you're here for yoga, welcome, welcome. We are going to get started, please, on our backs. Oh, so you can make your way there. And make sure your head is resting down and your legs, it's always an option how you like to set up, what feels most comfortable in your body. Today the invitation is bringing your feet together, letting your knees drop out wide. For some people that's too much intensity in the inner groin. So if that's you, you don't have to do that. You can very simply let the legs be out long, like we're starting in Shavasana. And then really drop into what it feels like to breathe. And if stillness doesn't feel quite right for you here, that's okay. Bring your hands to your belly and feel how your belly moves your hands as you inhale. You kind of balloon up and kind of drop down. And just follow the rhythm of your hands, the rhythm of your belly for just a few breaths here. We'll start by getting really grounded. Inhale. Just release your arms down at your sides. Take an exhale, soften everything out. Then as you inhale, really simple, swim your arms up and overhead. And just notice your range of motion here. As your arms lift overhead, notice if the ribs start to splay up. You don't have to do anything right this second to change that. Just notice it. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And exhale, arms sweep down at your sides. We'll do 2 more. Let's do 3 more just like that. Go as slowly as you possibly can so that your movement is matching the length of your breath and your breath is not speeding up to match the length of your breath. Then your breath is not speeding up to match any kind of speeding action in the arms. The next time you breathe in, just pause when your arms are up and overhead. As you exhale, hug your right knee in towards your belly and put your left foot on the floor. Just give your right knee a squeeze. Maybe make some circles with the right knee so that the hip is really rolling around in its socket. And if that feels pretty good for you and you want to check out what it would be like to take like a half of a happy baby and roll the hip around in the socket, you could do that too. And send the right leg straight up towards the sky-ish. Interlace your fingers together behind the right hamstring. And then let your right leg really drop into your hand so that you have this action of your shoulders lifting up off the mat, but your leg is doing all the work, so it feels pretty passive in your upper body. And then bend your right knee a lot so your heel is tapping towards your sits bone, and inhale, send the leg straight up towards the sky again. Do that 3 more times. Beautiful. The next time your right leg is reaching up, pause there, and then release your hands. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Take this figure 4 stretch. Use your right hand to send the right knee away. And pick your left foot up off the mat. Interlace your fingers together behind your left hamstring. And then squeeze your left heel in towards your left sits bone. So same thing we just did with the right. It's just we added the right leg. As you inhale, straighten the left leg-ish. Exhale, bend the left knee so your heel is squeezing in. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend into the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend into the knee, and then squeeze the knee in. And at the same time, keep sending your right knee, so that's you're moving deeper into the hip stretch. Right knee away. Oh. Last breath in. Send both legs straight-ish up towards the sky. Reach your arms up towards your feet, and then lower your arms back behind you. So this time, be really mindful of dropping the ribs in towards the belly. And then you might need to bend the knees for this. That's fine. Slowly, let your belly stay drawn in, your low back connected to the ground. Lower your feet, even if the knees are bent, that's fine. All the way to the ground. Okay. Exhale, hands sweep down at your sides. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Do that 3 more times. Follow your breath. Inhale, arms to the sky. As you exhale this time, left knee hugs in towards the chest, and then give yourself a squeeze and start to roll the right hip around in its socket. Go in both directions. If you took half of a happy baby on the first side and you want to check that out again, go right ahead. Send the left leg straight up towards the sky. When you're ready, interlace the fingers behind the hamstring and then push the leg into the hands so that your shoulders kind of lift up off the mat. And then whenever you're ready, begin those hamstring pulses. Bend into the knee and straighten the leg. Just moving within your range of motion. You definitely don't have to force anything here. It doesn't have to look like anything. If you sat a lot today, this is just kind of the antidote to working, right? Moving. We get to move now. And then cross your left ankle over your right thigh and use the left hand to really send the left knee away. Pick the right foot up off the floor and interlace your fingers together behind your right hamstring this time. And then same thing. Straighten the leg and bend the knee. Do it 1 or 2 times or 3 times. It really just depends on how much you're slowing down the motion to match that really long, soft breath you're working to create. And then the next time your right ankle's in towards your right sits bone, squeeze the thigh in so that the knee and the ankle are coming with you. And then at the same time, send your left knee, your left thigh away. Breathe here. And then release. Send both legs straight up towards the sky-ish. If your knees are bent, that's absolutely fine. This time, reach the arms up and overhead. And then draw your belly in and down. So your ribs are kind of sliding towards your hip points. And then keep that. Slowly start to lower the feet towards the mat. Don't let your low belly pop up. Beautiful. As you exhale from here, sweep your arms down at your sides. As your arms sweep down at your sides, send your hips up towards the sky. So you're like in a mini bridge. As you inhale, hips down, arms to the sky. Overhead. Exhale, lift your hips, send your arms down at your sides. Inhale, arms overhead, hips down. Exhale, arms wide like a T. Drop your knees over to the left. Just take a twist. Take a twist to the second side. Bring your knees through center. Hug the knees in symmetrically. And then roll your way up to a seated position. Cross your right shin in front of your left shin, please. And then walk your hands forward so you have a deeper hip stretch here. Good, just breathe. Walk your hands back towards your shins. Sit up straight. Inhale, reach your arms out and up overhead. As you exhale, turn your palms away from you. Lower your arms to shoulder height. Breathe here. As you exhale, cross your arms in front of you. Hook your left elbow under your right elbow, and then give yourself a hug. Lift your elbows up, or connect the backs of your hands or your palms. And then lift the elbows up. Send the elbows away to feel a big broadening across the upper back. Start to twist over towards the right. So gaze over your right shoulder, guide the elbows to the right. And then as you release the hands, hook your left hand outside your right thigh. Sweep your right hand all the way back behind you. Find your left hip crease. Sit up very straight. Exhale, twist a little further over your right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, unwind through center. Put your right hand on your left knee and then push your hands down, round into the back. Breathe. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, turn your palms away from each other. Release your hands behind you. Come up on fingertips and then slowly lean your weight back until the heels of your hands are on the ground. Bend your elbows, roll your shoulders onto your back, and puff your chest up a lot. Breathe. Put your right foot on the floor, put your left foot on the floor. Drop your knees once to the right. And drop your knees once to the left. Cross your shins, left shin in front of right shin. Take a breath in. And exhale, fold forward. So you have a hip opener on the second side. Walk your hands back towards the shins. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, send the arms out and up overhead. As you exhale, lower your hands to shoulder height. Hook your right elbow under your left elbow. Now here you can give yourself a hug and lift your elbows up, or you can connect the backs of the hands or the palms. Lift your elbows up wherever you are, and then send the elbows away. Feel that nice big stretch across the backs of the shoulders. Take a breath in. As you exhale, start to twist over towards the left. Look over your left shoulder. And then untangle the arms. Right hand outside your left thigh. Left arm sweeps behind you. Find your right hip crease. And then roll your chest open. Gaze over your left shoulder. Use your breath in to lengthen your spine through the crown of your head. And your breath out to twist a little deeper. Breath in to lengthen the crown of your head. Breath out to twist deeper. Inhale to unwind. Right hand stays, left hand sweeps over the arm. Hands push into the thighs, round into the back. And then inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, release the hands behind you. Start on your fingertips. And then as you shift the weight back, connect the heels of your hands to the ground. This should feel like a really nice wrist stretch. Roll your shoulders on your back, hug your elbows in, and puff your chest up. Put your left foot on the mat, put your right foot on the mat. Drop your knees once to the left. Drop your knees once to the right. Put your feet down on the ground. Give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms underneath your hamstrings. And then connect your belly to your thighs. Start to slide the heels forward and away from you until you're in one big forward fold. So from the heels all the way up through the backs of the legs, there's this nice stretch. And then from the sits bones all the way up through the crown of your head, there's this nice stretch. And you can make that more pronounced by pulling up on the legs. Oh. Beautiful. And then release the hands. Walk the feet back. Make your way to tabletop position, hands and knees. And then for our cat pose and our cow pose today, let's take another wrist stretch. That felt so good today. Turn the fingertips to face the knees. And then shift forward for a moment and shift back and find that place where you're having the most intense wrist stretch that you can breathe through. On an inhale, let your belly drop, let your heart lift, just like a normal cow spine. As you exhale, push into the hands and the knees, round into the back, gaze at the navel. And 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale just to neutral, so somewhere right between cat pose and cow pose. Return your hands to face forward. Walk your knees back, just a few inches. And then shift your weight forward, so your shoulders come right over the fingertips. Look forward. As you exhale, bend your elbows, lower all the way to the belly. Keep your belly drawn in. Untuck your toes. And inhale, lift your chest. Keep your chin tucked in towards the notch of your throat so your neck spine stays long. And flow your hands up off the mat. This is baby cobra. Use the upper back. As you exhale, hands to the ground. Shift up and back. Find child's pose with your toes tucked, please. Inhale your way up to table. And exhale, send the hips up and back to the sky. Peel the knees up off the mat, downward facing dog. Pedal out the heels if you'd like. On an inhalation, ripple forward to plank. As you exhale, lower just your left knee to the ground. As you inhale, pick your right leg up off the mat, and then draw your belly in and up. As you exhale, coil your knee in towards your nose. Inhale, send your right leg straight back behind you. As you exhale, tap your right knee towards your right tricep. Inhale, send the leg straight back. Keep your belly drawn in, keep your hips square. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straight back, heart forward. Exhale, right knee taps right tricep. Inhale, send the leg back and pause. Draw your belly up and then bend at the knee. Kick your foot up for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. fingertips, please. And then step your foot forward between your palms. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky. As you exhale, sweep your arms down by your hips. Inhale, arms rise to the sky, chest lift. Exhale, belly in, arms sweep down at your sides. Keep your belly in, just like we did on our back. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands lower towards your hips. Last one, inhale, arms rise. Stay here. Hug your outer hips in, soften your jaw, soften your eyebrows. As you exhale, send your hands down to frame your right foot. Peel your left knee up off the mat. As you exhale, shift your right leg straight or straight-ish. Inhale, bend into the knee. Exhale, step your left foot forward to meet your right foot. Hang. Let your head go, let your neck go, let your jaw go. Inhale, roll your way up towards stand. Inhale, arms rise to the sky. Exhale, float your hands down in front of your heart and bow your chin to your chest. Close your eyes for a moment, just feel. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. This time, inhale, hands to shins, find a flat back. So in a moment, we'll be in plank pose. A lot of this is going to be the same in the upper body. Send the tips of the shoulders down your back. Reach through the crown of your head. Send your heart forward. And then rock your weight forward a little bit. Good, breathe, inhale. As you exhale, put a bend enough in your knees to plant your palms. Step your right foot back, pause. Just kick through your right heel a lot. Feel a thigh stretch. Step your left foot back to meet your right foot. As promised, here's our plank pose. And then lower your knees to the mat. Shift your shoulders forward in line with your fingertips. Look forward. As you exhale, start to lower slowly. Belly in, belly in, belly in. Shoulders back, shoulders back, shoulders back. Pause when you get to halfway. And then inhale, push up. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, push up. Last one, you're going to lower all the way. See if you can really pause at that halfway point and then lower. Untuck your toes. Inhale, baby cobra pose. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Breathe here. Maybe even make a pillow for your head with your hands for a moment. Feel your heart beating. Feel the difference from side to side here. Hands at low ribs. Push your way back to child's pose with your toes tucked. Inhale, shift forward to table. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward, plank pose. Lower just your right knee to the mat. And pick your left leg up. Draw your belly in and up. Square the hips up like you could squeeze something between them. As you exhale, coil knee to nose, just like cat. Inhale, straighten the leg back behind you. Exhale, tap your left knee to your left tricep. Inhale, straighten the leg behind you. Keep your right arm strong. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten the leg behind you. Exhale, knee taps tricep. Inhale, straighten the leg, pause. And then squeeze the hips in, bend at the knee. And from here we pulse. Send the foot up for 8. I'll try to count this time really well. 7, 6, belly in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knee to nose. Tense up on fingertips. Step your foot forward between your hands. Inhale, rise, arms to the sky, torso tall. As you exhale, sweep your hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, sweep your arms down, draw your belly in. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, lower your arms. Last one, inhale, arms to the sky. Pause here. Hug your outer hips in. Breathe. Exhale, float your hands to frame your left foot. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. As you exhale, send the hips back, straighten your left leg as far as it will go. Please be gentle with yourself. You only have one left hamstring. Actually, you have 3 left hamstrings, but you only have one group of hamstrings. And then inhale, bend into your left knee. Step your right foot forward to meet your left foot. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest. Just breathe, please. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold your way forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. As you exhale, put your hands down on the ground. Step your left foot way back to a lunge. Pause for a second. Reach your heart forward. Kick your left heel back. Step your right foot to meet your left foot. Breathe in, plank pose. Push down into the hands. Lift up out of the shoulders. Push off the balls of your feet a little bit so your shoulders are lined up over your fingertips. Lower your knees to the mat, optional. All right, we're gonna do 3 push-ups. You can leave your knees lifted if you're feeling fiery. As you exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, push up. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, push up. Last one, you're going all the way to the belly. Pause at your halfway, and then lower. Untuck your toes. Inhale, take a baby cobra. Exhale, lower all the way to the forehead. Make a pillow for your head with your hands. Turn your head through center. Plant your palms next to your low ribs. Push your way up and back to toes tucked, child's pose. Inhale, shift forward to table. And exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward. Make your way forward. Step or slow walk. Find a long spine when you get to the top of your mat and then fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way to stand. With your right fingertips, take your left wrist and lean up and over to the right. Inhale, come through center. Same thing to the second side. With your left hand, take your right wrist, lean up and over to the left. Inhale, come through center. As you exhale, sweep your hands behind you. Think about sliding your hands into like your jean pockets, and then roll your shoulders onto your back. Hug your elbows in. Use your hands to really slide the tailbone down. Maybe bend your knees a little bit and lift the heart up. Keep your low back lengthening. As you exhale, start to bend into the knees. Let the hands trace the backs of the legs as you fold forward. Hands to the ground. Step your left foot back to a lunge. And then walk your left foot over a footprint to the left. Spin your left heel down, bend into your right knee a lot. Hug your outer hips in. Inhale, send your arms to the sky. Warrior 1. Hips, ribs, shoulders facing the front of the mat. Arms to the sky. And then just like we did when we were standing, take your left wrist, lean up and over to the right. Keep sliding your right hip crease back. Inhale, come through center, pause. Bend deeper into your right knee. Push into the blade edge of your left foot. Fire up your left glute. And then slip your hands behind you. So two options. You can interlace your fingers, right thumb on top, just so we can keep track, or take opposite elbows. And then for a moment, straighten your right leg. Lean your heart up and back. And then as you exhale, bend back into the right knee. Dive inside the right leg and let your head hang. So here's the trick from here. Think about hugging your outer hips in and sliding your right hip crease back. Whoa. One more breath. Inhale, exhale. Stay low, please. Release your hands to the mat inside your right foot. Start to crawl your way to the left. Straighten your right leg. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Bend into your left knee. Safe Skandasana. Let the hips sink. Keep your chest lifting. Even if you're really, really high up, that's fine. So there's an inner groin stretch here that should feel really nice after that warrior one. Crawl your way back to the top of the mat. Frame out your right foot. Spin your left heel up. And then inhale to a crescent lunge. Left leg really straight and strong. As you exhale, push your right leg straight. Sweep your hands down and back. Lift your heart. As you inhale, bend back into the knee. Reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, straighten the leg. Shift arms back. Inhale, bend into the knee, arms to the sky. Last one, exhale, straighten the legs, sweep your hands back. And then inhale, arms to the sky, pause. Exhale, hands to heart center, shift forward. Keep your belly drawn in, right hip tacking back. Maybe lift your left leg off the mat. And step your left foot to meet your right foot, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, chin to chest. Inhale, arms to the sky. With your left fingertips, take your right arm up and over to the left, side stretch. Inhale through center, exhale, second side. Inhale through center, exhale, hands behind you. Slide your hands into like your imaginary jean pockets. Roll your shoulders open, hug your elbows in. Use your hands to keep your low back really long. Bend into the knees. Start to hinge forward at the hips. Trace the back line of the legs as you fold forward. Step your right foot back to a lunge. Widen your right foot to the right, please, and then pivot your right heel down. Now, before you do anything, feel the blade edge of your right foot connecting to the ground and see that the arch is lifting up. And then manually, with your left hand, slide the left hip crease back. It's so hard. And then inhale, arms to the sky. We'll take a side stretch. With your left fingertips, take your right arm up and over to the left. Inhale, come through center. Stay in your warrior one. Convince, have a little chat with your right ribs, your right hip, that they can move closer to the short edge of your mat. Breathe in. Remember that action of sliding your tailbone down. And then exhale, slip your hands behind you, either left thumb on top or take opposite elbows. So that one's harder for me. I realize I favor putting the left forearm in front. Just check it out. Straighten your left leg wherever you are. Lean back, puff your heart up. As you exhale, bend back into the knee. Dive your torso inside the thigh. And then just like you did before you came up, you can do this manually or just imagine it. Hug your outer hips in so your left hip crease is sliding back. And then let your head rest. Let it just drop. and stay low. Release your hands inside your left foot. Start to straighten your left leg. Crawl your hands all the way over to the right. Pivot the left foot in. Turn the right toes out. And then bend into the right knee. Let the hips sink. Keep your chest lifting. Crawl your way back to the top of the mat. Frame out your left foot. Spin up onto the ball of the right foot this time. And inhale, arms to the sky. As you exhale, straighten your left leg and sweep your hands back. Inhale, bend into the knee, arms to the sky. Exhale, straighten the legs, sweep the hands back. 2 more. Good. Inhale. Bring your hands through heart center. Shift forward. Slide the left hip crease back. Skip your right foot in. And maybe you don't lift the right foot up off the mat. That's okay too. Maybe the right leg lifts up and you keep reaching your heart forward and unshrinking your left waist. And then come up to stand. Put your right foot down next to your left foot. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, chin to your chest. Coming back time and time again to the experience of you, right? What it's like to just be you. Release your hands down at your sides. Let's take a tree pose. Right leg is the standing leg first. Bring your hands to your hips. Come up onto the ball of the left foot and then spin the left knee out. Right away, notice if the left hip traveled back, can you spin it forward? And then start to slide the left foot up the inner right leg. Try to bypass the knee, please. And if at any point you need your left hand to bring the leg as high up onto the inner thigh as you would like to get it, that's fine. Please don't feel like you have to force what's happening in this tree pose. I love trees, and I look outside, and there's so many variety of trees, and you know what? I love every single one of them. I don't think any of them look more beautiful than another one. So once you get to your variation of tree pose, know that I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And then push your foot into your leg. And at the same time, push your leg into your foot. So this is really active. And then maybe reach your arms to the sky. And maybe take your right wrist with your left fingertips and lean up and over towards your bent knee. Ooh. Inhale, come through center. As you exhale, send your hands back behind you like you had jean pockets. And then turn your knee through center. Slowly put the foot down on the ground, bend your knees a little bit, and then take a little back bend. Use your hands to slide the low back down, down, down. And then use your belly to come all the way back up to stand. Release your arms. You can shake out the right leg. And then this time the left leg will be the standing leg. So you can bring your hands to your hips, please. Come up onto the ball of the right foot. And then spin the right knee out to the right. With your right hand, guide. It's like an invitation. Like, come on, right hip. And slide the foot up the inside of the leg. It doesn't matter to me where it goes. And if it matters to you, just ask yourself why, right? All trees are beautiful. I love them all. I love every single one of them. They can all come live in my backyard. And then your right hand can help you, right? We're all different. And when you get to your stable, your gorgeous tree pose, push your foot into your leg. Push your leg into your foot so you have this really active uh, connection happening. And then float your arms up towards the sky. With your right fingertips, take your left wrist and lean towards your bent leg. Inhale to come through center. As you exhale, slip your hands long at your sides, reach behind you, hands into your imaginary hip pockets, shoulders open. As you send the right foot down, bend into both knees, lift the heart a lot. Hands are assisting the low back to stay long. Use your belly to send yourself back up to stand, arms to the sky. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. As you exhale, plant your palms, step back, plank pose. Widen your feet as wide as the mat. Keep your right hand down, swivel your heels to the right, reach your left fingertips to the sky. Push into your right hand, lift up, up, up. Look down, left hand down, heels through center. Swivel the heels to the left, right fingertips to the sky. Send your hips forward, lean your upper body back. Right hand down, heels through center, one more each side. Center, left. Good, right hand down, plank pose. Knees to the mat. Thread the needle, right fingertips over to the left, right shoulder, right cheek down. Now, you can do a couple things here. We're going to start winding down. With your left fingertips, you can tent up onto fingertips and push the ground to the left and feel more of a twist. You can also send the left arm up and behind you, find your right hip crease and take an additional shoulder stretch here. And then wherever you are, start to let that go. Bring your right hand back to the mat and super simple, switch sides. Oh. Now just as a reminder, you can tent up on right fingertips and really send the ground down and away. Or you can sweep your right arm all the way up, find your left hip crease, and roll your chest open. Wherever you are, just come out of this. Right hand down, left hand down. Stay in your table. Step your right foot wide of your right pinky finger. Tuck your left toes. Walk your left knee back enough so that you feel a thigh stretch in your left thigh. And then plant your left palm. Climb your right hand onto your right thigh. Push your hand into your thigh. Take a big twist here. And keep letting your hips sink so that there's a lot of thigh stretch happening here. With your gaze, you can let it just drop open over the right shoulder. Keep twisting. Oh, good. And then unwind. Put your right hand down. Come onto the blade edge of your right foot. Let your right knee drop out to the right. Hi, sweetie pie. Hi. And then bring the right foot back to the mat so your right knee's pointing up. Start to wiggle. You'll have to coordinate hand moving outside your right foot. Just walk your right foot all the way over to the left to set up for a pigeon pose. Bring your shin down. Walk your hands forward and let yourself rest down. 4 more breaths here. When you're ready, hands to the mat. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and then scoot your knee in a little bit. Free your right leg up and back to the sky. Bend your knee, open your hip. Oh, take a big breath in. As you exhale, coil the knee in towards the nose. Look over to the left and just shoot your right leg to the left. Now, it doesn't have to be anything really drastic. Pause here for a moment. Squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline and lean your heart forward. You should have some really big sensation in the outer right leg. Maybe it feels good to bend the knee and shift forward like plank. And then as you exhale, it's like more like down dog. Squeeze the inner thighs in. And you could do that again. You don't have to. We'll all meet in downward facing dog on our way to tabletop position. And then step your left foot wide of your left pinky finger. Walk your right knee back enough so that you have that thigh stretch in your right thigh. And then climb your left hand onto your left knee. Push hand into thigh. And then with your right hand, slide the floor away. So you have this huge stretch. Let your left hand come down inside your left foot. Come onto the blade edge of the foot. Let the knee wing out to the left. Always feels good for me to like rock a little bit here. And then come back onto the blade edge of the sole of the foot. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle the left foot over to the right and take a pigeon. Come down onto your forearms. Let yourself be heavy here. Arises for you in stillness and quiet. Take 4 more breaths. Tuck your right toes and scoot your right knee in a little bit. For your left leg up and back to the sky. Down dog split. Bend your knee, open up. And then as you exhale, knee comes in towards the nose. Look to the right. Shoot the left leg to the right. It doesn't have to be really close to the hand. That's fine. Lean your heart forward. Hug your inner thighs in. Oh. Maybe it feels okay to bend the knee and shift forward a little bit. That brings me out of this. But then as I exhale and squeeze the inner thighs again, hips lift, I feel it all over again. So 1 or 2 more. And then downward facing dog. Ripple forward to plank. Exhale, lower the knees to the mat. Lower all the way to your belly. Flip over onto your back. Do a bridge pose. Bend at the knees. Walk your feet close enough to you that you can graze your heels with your fingertips. And then shift weight from the inner part of your feet to the outer part of your feet, like you're toggling the feet back and forth. And then we do this when we're standing. We don't do it as much when we're about to back bend, but it's really important. So feel the inner feet connect to the mat as much as the outer feet are connecting to the mat. And then push into the whole foot. Lift your hips to the sky. Bend your elbows to push into the backs of the arms, work your shoulders underneath you. Then you can stay here, or you can extend your arms long, take the outer edges of the mat, and think about like pulling the mat apart. And then we'll take 3 more breaths here. Do check out what happened to the feet. If you have to make any adjustments, right? Feet down. Low back is really long. Push into the back of your head. Feel the throat open. 1 more breath in. Let it go. Walk your feet wide, knock your knees in. And put a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. Just to feel the beating, the rhythm that you create, the rhythm of you. Keep your feet wide. Let your knees just drop over to the left. So you have this kind of pinwheel shape. Now, check out what happens if you walk your right foot a little further back to the right. I feel more of a thigh opener here. So if that feels good, you can stay there for a few breaths, and then we'll all turn this into like a right leg just stacked right on top of left leg twist, like a really traditional twist. So if you want that thigh opener, you can take it for a few breaths. If you're like, no thank you, just stack leg on top of leg right now. So if you're still in the thigh opener, let your right knee get heavier as you deepen your breath. Keep as much of your upper back on the ground as you possibly can. Let's all stack right leg on top of left leg if you aren't there already. So you have a really traditional twist that's moving more towards the middle back, more towards the upper back. Bring yourself back through center. Feet wide, knees knocked in. Feel the difference side to side. Keep your feet wide, knock your knees over to the right. If you're taking that thigh stretch, kind of wiggle your left foot over to the left until you feel the thigh stretch. If you're not interested in that thigh stretch, stack left thigh on top of right thigh so you have a really traditional supine twist. And then let's all take the left leg, just stack it on top of the right. Upper back heavy, legs heavy, head heavy. Come up through center. Put your feet on the floor, knock your knees in towards the midline. Return a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. And then make your way towards final rest. And as always, if there's anything else you need to check out on your way there, listen to your body. You know what you need much, much, much better than I know what you need. Final rest, the shape of Shala. Just a few moments of quiet, of introspection, of full surrender. Start to deepen your breath once again. Deliberate inhale, full exhale. Let go of stillness by moving into your smallest body parts first, your fingertips, your toes, and then making bigger, broader movements until you can pass through one side or the other side. Make your way up to a seated position. Just end out class here. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and bow your chin to your chest when you arrive in your seat. Savor these final moments of you giving yourself the privilege of your own attention. Thank you so much for being here today. I bow to you. Namaste.